Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's happening? We got JR Raymond here with Cody Shoemaker, the man. Been bowling like crazy. Bowling a lot. Y'all underestimate this guy. Y'all don't know what this guy can do. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
We're trying.
We're getting there.
We do some different stuff.
We're getting there. So we've got a couple of Sorry, I got to drink my coffee. I'm old.
He is old.
That's what old guys do.
I have soda.
But we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to run down the PBA and what's been going on, some of the changes that have been made. And man, that light is actually really bright. So get your questions ready, especially super chat. Super chat questions will certainly be answered in more depth. Other questions we'll try to get to as much as we can. But we're going to chat about a couple of different topics here. We're going to talk Bradley. We're going to talk PTQ changes. We're going to talk PBA Tour and a lot of new bowling balls that are going to be coming out here pretty soon. So first up, we're going to let Cody talk about his Bradley experience because his was way better than mine.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, to answer your question, doubles Friday night for him and I, did not go well.
It's all right.
He bowled good. He bowled good.
I'm a house hack now.
He is.
I've been bowling legal.
He said he doesn't shoot anything under 720 anymore, so apparently he's staying true.
I haven't.
I, on the other hand, shot like 640. It was not good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so.
Did you get to 640?
630? 620? I don't know. It wasn't good. It was not good. I forget. That's how bad it was. So, yeah, we did not have a chance. You needed, like, what do we need?
We only needed, I think it took 229 over.
Okay.
So you needed 680.
No,
Yeah.
not good enough for that.
No, you couldn't bowl 680?
No, not on the China anymore. So, yeah, basically Bradley weekend was pretty successful. I mean, we both cashed. Obviously in the tournament, which is nice. We put up a video yesterday, kind of a little clip talking about the morning. But yeah, so we both made the cashers round off the A squad. We both bowled pretty good there. Pretty easy to make that cut though.
Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of what I was trying to explain to people is like during that first block, it's more about kind of trying different parts of the lane, trying different balls, trying to see if you can find some kind of, I mean, it's almost impossible to find the nut, but if you can find a really good ball reaction, generally that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, you don't really care about going 50 to 100 under the first block because there were 70 some guys bowling and you only had to be in the top 50 to make it. It took like minus 140 to make it.
Yeah.
Or it might have even been lower than that.
It was something like that.
Yeah. So, but to kind of go with your point, you talk about if you can find that good ball reaction. Well, you know, I shot 277 the last game of A squad, kind of doing what I ended up doing the rest of the tournament.
Right. And that got you to even.
Yeah. And I went +6 with 277. So which, to be fair, +6 was like top 5 on the squad. So night squad definitely went a little differently for both of us. We kind of had the opposite ends of the spectrum there. You start off hot with 260. I start off missing 4 single pins in one game. That was a strong start.
For 170, yeah.
170, don't miss the pocket once, shoot 170. So we're not used to the plastic ball backing up when we're shooting spares on the left.
We don't use a plastic ball.
That's a fair point. But yeah, so we had to adjust for that because we missed a couple. It's pretty interesting. But we both made the cut. I went minus 37. I think you were what?
Plus 16.
Plus 16. The number, so going into Sunday, you bowl 6 more games in the morning. That's the cashers round. You're guaranteed to cash for $600. But they're cutting the top 8 after that top 6. Your scores don't drop. And I believe the cut number was plus 35.
Yeah, it was right around there. Yeah, I was about 20 out. So, yeah.
So we knew kind of it was going to be in that like 60 to 70 plus range is what you're going to have to get to. And I knew I needed a big block. JR, obviously, I mean, 50 over is still a lot. I mean, they're hard.
Yeah, people underestimate how hard they actually are.
I mean, we're bowling on 50 feet with roughly, I mean, I don't know if it's 50 mils or 45 mils. It's a lot of oil. I mean, they joke about people using 220 grit and these kind of things. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. We did. I destroyed a couple bowling balls.
Generally you go into it with some bowling balls that you don't really like because you're trying to, you're going to need tons of surface. So you take bowling balls you're not too fond of and you just beat them up because literally there is really no right bowling ball. I mean, honestly, you're just trying to get the right surface.
It's close. Yeah, you're just trying to find something close. Yeah. If your ball hooks somewhere on the lane that's not at 50 feet, then you got a shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely that kind of thing. I ended up using a reality that I was consistently hitting with 220 grit. I don't know exactly what JR
so
used.
that's the thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you used a reality. I used a knockout bruiser. So a much weaker ball than a reality, technically.
But we're both using the same amount of surface.
I had 360. Yeah, you were 360, 220, whatever.
Yeah.
So
the only thing was, and we kind of talked about this too, is I was able to throw it harder kind of all weekend, and my ball still hooked, which was surprising, compared to JR was a lot softer. So my ball, I kind of just wanted to use the early friction in the front part of the lane to get my ball hooking there, and didn't really care if it kept hooking. I just wanted to hook there and get going towards the pocket, because then I knew it had a chance to strike. So
yeah. I mean, you could. That was the thing, is getting it to, like, you had to get it to 1 or 2. To the right, and that's why some of you guys who saw the videos that I posted of the Bradley the first couple of games, you see me playing straight up the lane at like 2-3, setting it down on 2-3, getting it to 1-2. Because if you got it there late, your ball wouldn't make it, because your ball it'll hook off of it, but then it'll hook right into the oil.
It was hard to throw it in the gutter.
I almost couldn't throw it in the gutter.
It was hard to throw it in the gutter.
Yeah.
The problem is if your ball.
Let the dog out.
Oh, Layla's not happy.
She got peed.
So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely touchy no matter what you're trying to do on the lane with that tournament. But for me, like, I drift 8 or 9 boards left. So I was standing on -1.
Yeah, at one point I was standing, in order to get it to really go right to left, the end of the cashers round, I was standing on -3. Yeah, 4. I was standing on.
The furthest I got was -4.
Yeah, so -4. And you kind of do walk a little left, but
yeah. I mean, realistically, your body kind of tells you you're not going to throw it in the gutter. So you don't really lay it down in the gutter. But I was trying to basically throw my ball almost right to left. I wanted to hook in the front part and go right to left the whole weekend.
Yeah, because when your ball hooks in the front, it hooks and then it starts to get into the oil. So it's like it just straightens it back out.
Yeah.
And then you're hoping that the ball hooks again at the back part of the lane.
Yeah, and there were a lot of times where, like, I might miss a little left, but because it hooked in the front, it would just hydroplane, and you just have that, like, high flush blow the 4-pin off the deck hit. So yeah, going into Sunday, I knew I needed a really big block. I kind of went in just like, hey, let's just see what happens. Going 100 over at the Bradley's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, so instead we'll just go 140 over. No big deal.
Yeah, so we went 146. We bowled pretty well. No game under 200 for the block. Spare shooting was a lot better, and just kind of kept it in play. I didn't get to see you bowl that block really at all. We weren't close to each other.
My block was the opposite. I tried to use even more surface after the first one, because I figured if I had a little bit more surface, it might make it hook off. When I miss left, it might hook on that 2-3 board. But the problem is it would get there, but it didn't have any energy left and would flat 10. So I struggled with carry all the first couple of games. And if I tried to get on top of it, this too much surface made it hook too much. Yeah. So I couldn't get on top of it like I could with 360.
It's really tough, because when you're bowling on something like that and you're hitting the pocket, you can't change a lot of variables. It's 220 goods from Home Depot.
It was literally sanding paper.
Yeah, actual sandpaper.
Not an Abalone pad. I mean, there is a 180 pad.
There is a 180 pad.
Abalone is completely different than sandpaper, of course. Yeah. I think sandpaper gives you a much lower true grit. I think a 180 probably will come out close to 300.
I think the Vice new ones are pretty good at it.
The true cut pads are the best, in my opinion.
Okay. Never used those.
True cut pads. They're the best. They're amazing.
Yeah. I think the new Vice ones are pretty good too. So
yeah. Okay.
But
fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, it's really just about trying to hit the pocket. And if you're hitting the pocket and getting 9, you might try and tweak a couple things with your hand, but you're not going to be able to do much. Like, I moved 4 boards all weekend. It was either 1 left or 2 right, and it was either slower ball speed or less rotation or more up the back of it. It was all of those things to try and manipulate the ball roll. It had nothing to do with moving, because you couldn't just move. This wasn't a typical tournament where you can just be like, yeah, I'm going to move 5 boards left because this pair hooks more. Well, if you move 5 boards left, your ball's going to hit the 6-pin. And when we say the 6-pin, I'm not accidentally saying that instead of the 3-pin. I mean, it's going to hit the 6-pin.
Literally going to hit the 6-pin.
You're going to get 3 off the right. Yeah, it might still be going right when it hits it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should, like, if you set the ball down on like 4 or 5 instead of 2 or 3, and you get it going up the lane or a pinch to the right, you're hitting the 6-pin in the face.
Oh yeah,
every time.
You were going to hope. Honestly, when you did that, you just kind of had to hope that it didn't hook, because then it would just hit the 3-pin and you wouldn't wash out.
Right.
You just kind of hope that you just left the 1-2-4, because that's at least makeable. Because, I mean, shooting any spare, like 3, 6, 9, 10s, I think I made 1 because I left 1, And I felt like it was a double.
Yeah.
I mean, or like a 4-bagger. I mean, they're just so hard.
You know, and I thought the 2.8 was going to be tough, but I left probably 7 or 8 of those things, and you shoot straight at it because you can't hook at it.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't miss a single one somehow.
I made a couple of those.
That's
I left the 2.7 a couple times because the ball's so light that it doesn't want to knock it out.
right.
Like the head pin takes out the 10 pin, so you don't 210, but you 2.7. And
Right.
shooting that's interesting because you just got to feel like it's got to get
You
going.
can't hook at it.
Well,
Yeah,
like
you gotta
I mean,
go
I
right
threw
to
the
left
I
at
threw
it.
the resin ball at it, but threw it right to left to try and feel like it was going to hook a little bit.
Mhm.
That's what you had to do. So yeah, I had a great block. Like we kind of found a good look. Got to 109 over and third in the tournament. JR cashed. So top 8, I bowled Nathan Stubler the first round. Game 1 was not good.
What did it take to get to the top 8? 79.
79 over
Yeah, and I ended up actually 30 under. So
or 78.
I bowled
over,
40
something.
under that last block.
Okay. So really, I mean,
Not good.
you still needed 60, 70 over,
Right.
which is a lot.
I mean, I actually only needed, 60 over.
So-
63.
Yeah, I mean, it's 60 over is a ton on that tournament. I don't care who or what look you
210 a
have.
game. That's hard on that pattern.
It is.
And you're talking about tour guys out there.
I mean, and you got to catch a pair. I mean, yeah, I crossed with Tom Doherty and Mitch Beasley during the Cashers round.
Mhm.
Mitch Beasley was second in the tournament going in and went minus 50 for his 6 games in the Cashers round. Now, he still made the top 8, but either way, like what he tried to do because he bowled the burn squad the day before didn't work during the Cashers round.
Mhm.
And Doherty did the same thing. Doherty was in the number. He was like 50 over going into the Cashers round
Mhm.
and backed himself out of the number because he was trying to play the middle part of the lane. And it was funny. I was the only one on our pair. So my pair was Mitch Beasley, Tom Doherty, myself, and Bailey Maverick.
Mhm.
And I was the only one playing the gutter, like playing really far right. And then Bailey shot 140 and moved right the next game, played the gutter. Then Mitch moved right the last 2 games. And then Tom did the same thing, and Tom started striking. It was just like one of those things where really depending on what you saw when you bowled was going to dictate what you did the next day.
Mhm.
Luckily for you and I, more guys played the gutter in the Cashers round, and I felt like it made them easier
Mhm.
because it created more friction, and I can use the friction.
Right.
So, but yeah, I beat Nathan Stubler 2-3 or 2-1 in best of 3. Bowl Kyle Troop in the semifinals, and unfortunately hit a pair that. So the rule for the top 8 was you couldn't resurface your bowling ball, but
I win. You lose.
so I guess you win.
I win.
So basically, when you hit that ball with surface and you bowl that first match, since I bowled 3 games, when I went to bowl Kyle, my ball now was pretty shiny and it kept shining up. And unfortunately, that pair was a little tighter as well compared to the other pairs I hit that day. I won game 1 against Kyle and then got 6 out of 7 frames game 2. Unfortunately, missed a spare. Just a mental error, frustration.
So why don't you tell the story about what happened there? Because I'm sure some people were watching the live stream with the surface problem.
Yeah, so with the rule that you couldn't change surfaces, you couldn't re-hit surface before the match, Kyle had hit one of his bowling balls and then had the other one in his hand. And when he went to hit it, I tried to say something to him, but he had already hit it to stop it. And unfortunately, they took those 2 balls out of play. So he had to use other bowling balls he hadn't hit surface with or hadn't used. And I mean, Kyle being the phenomenal bowler is, unfortunately, like, you know, he won game 2 shooting 179 when I shoot 174 because the pair was bad. But
And because you missed a single pin. in the
Yeah.
8th frame.
yeah, I mean, but
Make your spares, kids.
I mean, he took advantage of a good opportunity, and that's what good bowlers do. And I gave him an opportunity. So that's on me. Got to be better. But still, to go from I was 29th going into Sunday and finished 3rd for the day for the tournament feels pretty good going into the second half of the tour. You know, I didn't really feel like I was bowling bad, even though I missed a couple PTQ cuts in a row. Just feel like maybe didn't quite see the right pictures or right things. But, you know, it's just trying to get it all put together, one package. Because out here, if one part of your game is off, you're screwed.
oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. That's why the changes for me were such a big thing with the span change and everything. Because now
Yeah.
all of a sudden I feel comfortable and be able to do what I want to do with the ball again. So we'll find out Monday how good that is. But at the Bradley, for me, it felt like That was just night and day compared to some of the.
I felt like you had a lot of control.
The entire year before that, it's like a struggle. Because that's kind of the thing. Like with the shorter span, it felt like if I swelled a little bit and got a little tighter, I had to manipulate how my hand felt in the ball, so it would either hang up or it would fall off. When with the longer span, I can just keep jamming tape in it and get it tighter and tighter, and it just flies off.
Keep your hand relaxed.
Yeah. And it just flies off. So I never
Yeah,
have to try to do anything.
The new span that I went to in, November, December with grips, because I really didn't feel like I could, with how much bowling we do between practicing and tournaments and everything out here, I didn't know that no grips is as sharp as I like them would be. I didn't know if the fingers would last.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I'd be dealing with issues of having to go up in bit sizes all the time because of that. And I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I ended up going to grips. Well, I made my span just a smaller bit longer.
Are you using vacuum grips or just regular? Yeah.
Okay. Vacuum grips, 3/4 away, like really far away,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of keep my hand super relaxed.
Tape your fingers, or do you just?
Yeah, I had the bioskin on before. I still have bioskin on now, so that hasn't changed. And honestly, it helps a ton. I've probably bowled 5 days a week for the last 2.5 months and have zero wear and tear on my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So, or my thumb. So it's, that grip and that fit being correct is huge,
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to do all of this, because there's guys out here that bowl week in and week out and their new skin is their best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I don't have to deal with soreness or pain or anything. Like I chew on my calluses because I hate having that stuff on the side of my hand. So I chew on it, and sometimes it'll get sore from that. But other than that, I really don't get any blisters or anything.
So yeah, Bradley went well. We both cashed, we both bowled well. So now we're both kind of here. I'm actually up in Michigan at the moment, staying with Mr. Raymond here. Haven't been back in Michigan for like 8 years. Feels kind of weird.
Yeah, the state's been quiet.
Yeah, I know. I'm here to fuck it up. Oh, screw it. I'm here to mess it up.
Here to mess it up.
I'm here to mess it up. We'll bleep that out.
We're live.
Well, it's fine.
We're good.
So,
don't get kicked off.
But yeah, so basically we're kind of prepared. I'm, gonna drill some balls.
Yeah,
this week. I got some balls coming.
Drilling session.
Yeah, that was the other thing, I guess, with the Bradley. So we use balls that we don't really, necessarily like a lot. I used a Reality and a Hype Solid that I haven't used that much on tour, and I just gave them away. So, now I'm going to drill some more stuff and try and prepare for tour. And I've got 7 balls coming, so I'll probably drill them the next day or two and get some games in before we bowl PTQ on Monday.
We're going to go bowl league tonight. Let's go bowl league.
Well, he's going to bowl league. I'm probably going to end up subbing and shoot 650 again.
There you go.
So that's what I do.
Yeah, then you'll see. This place is very Bradley-esque. It doesn't hook. I mean, it's not Bradley.
Are you telling me I can play right at 15?
You could start there. I usually slow hook it. I'm
every house shot on the East Coast where I live is just like put your foot in the left gutter game one.
I'm trying to get to 240. I think I'm at like 238 now in this league.
That's it.
Yeah, and
we have like
the next
3
high
people
is
averaging 227.
I'm trying to out average the league by 10 pins. This place is not easy. I'm telling you.
I saw he's in the chat. Chris Green can vouch for this. We have like 3 people averaging 250 at our center.
I believe it. This place ain't easy though.
Our place is China.
This place has hang to the right.
China, just like 9 honor scores a week.
You can miss the head pin right in our center, in this center.
How many games?
Will you play on a ball before replacing it?
I think that really depends on the ball.
Out on tour, 20 at most, unless it's like one of the balls that just seems to look good everywhere.
Sometimes you don't even want that. Yeah. Sometimes bowling balls get better the more games they get on them.
Some of them do.
Yeah, absolutely. Some games hook too much or balls hook too much. So as you get games on them, they kind of blend out and they kind of mellow out that surface a little bit, and that actually helps the ball motion. So
I noticed that mostly with Brunswick type brand bowling balls, they seem to get better when they get some games on them. So you get like probably 10 games on them, and all of a sudden they start to, I see them get stronger down lane.
Yeah. People used to talk about that with IQ tours all the time. Like, drill an IQ tour and get 40 games on it, and it's infinitely better than when you bought it.
Yeah.
And
that's false, Dusty. I would much rather bowl on the Bradley pattern than bowl in league, by far. So.
Yeah, same, actually. I averaged more on that than what I did on the house shot Friday night.
Very true. Very true. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, you did. You averaged 220 plus on that extra day, or that on Cashier's round. So
that's what you got to do.
It's crazy. So, all right, well, let's talk about the changes to the tour.
A couple
the
big
PBA and
changes.
PTQ. Go ahead, and I know you were around for when they did that, so you can
Yeah.
let people know what's going on there.
So basically, the PBA has decided that they are going to issue refunds to PTQ bowlers that finish in the top third of the PTQ. So basically, what they're doing is making the PTQ a regional. And instead of it being a check where you would cash for like $400 or something like that, it's basically if you're in the top third of the field and you don't make the main field. So we looked at Jackson. I think it's going to be 88 guys bowling, and the top 9, I think, is what we said right now. Top 9 make the field. So 29 guys are in the top third. The other 20 guys that don't make it will get their $250 that they paid for the entry fee to the PTQ refunded at the end of the tour season. So not for 2 months, but they're just trying to do this to kind of cut back on some expenses for the PTQ. For the PTQ guys to help them out there since you're not making it to the field. So they made that change. That's going to be the biggest thing. And then they made another change to the main fields starting this week in Jackson, that the pay ratio is changing from 1-3 to 1-2. The last cash spot went from $3,000 down to $2,000. And then the other prizes changed, obviously, but first place is still going to be $25,000. So they made some of those changes. As a guy bowling the PTQs, it's not necessarily something I'm worried about. It's nice. Anything they're doing is appreciative. I'm not going to complain about anything like that. It's nice because if you miss by 2 or 3 spots, you at least get your money back, and you can use that to pay for the next week, theoretically, even though we're not getting it until the end of the year. So it's nice. It's helpful. The more people that make money on the PBA Tour, the more likely the tour is to be successful. So the 1-2 thing I like a lot. I think it helps keep guys out here. I think the PTQ change is going to help fill the PTQ fields, which is really good. I just still stand by the fact that, these are good changes. We just have to have another route to be able to get out on tour, whether that's using the regional tour or tour trials or whatever it may be. That's just my opinion of that. I think these are good changes. I think it's beneficial for everyone, but I just think that they've got to come up with something that furthers that development. We've got to develop players and allow people that are in PTQs and working to continue to get better, have an avenue that they can go test their skill level at, other than just an 8-game shootout for one day.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing you want to make sure we mention here is there's going to be some guys, like there's a few guys that kind of throw a hissy fit a little bit, and that are in the top 50, and they're like, well, why are they giving that money to PTQ people and not giving it to the guys that are in the field already? Why wouldn't they just put that money? Well, you got to remember, they're already putting $100,000 into these events, and none of these prize funds are actually affected by entries. Correct. So the entries don't go into any of this stuff.
Entries do not matter.
So all they're doing is they're actually just giving you a little bit of incentive for actually bowling the PTQ. Because think about it. If more people are bowling the PTQs, then that just seems like there's that many more people interested in bowling. Yeah. You get 100, 200 people that are bowling the PTQs. It's like, holy cow, look how popular this is. People want to be able to bowl on tour.
I think that's the biggest thing to take away from this first month of tour. The USBC obviously is the US Open. So it's a little different just because anyone can bowl that. You don't have to be a PBA member. So it's a little interesting to me that we've had basically full fields for every PTQ. Compared to last year, there were PTQs that had 25 guys bowl. You had 25 guys and they were still giving away 10 spots.
Right.
So something clearly has changed from last year to this year. And there's clearly a lot of guys. Are there local guys from each area that are going to bowl the PTQs and things like that are maybe regional guys that wouldn't bowl every national stop? Yes, that's going to happen. We might have some guys from the central region bowl Jackson and Indiana the next couple of weeks that might not bowl in New Jersey.
Right.
But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of guys traveling week to week that are bowling these PTQs. So if you got this many guys that are willing to work to be on tour and want to be out here, then maybe we just need to sit down and look at a way of trying to make it where we can take all this and expand the PBA and keep growing.
Yeah.
So it's demand is a thing. They clearly want it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, that link that's traveling along the bottom of your screen there, that's for the membership, where we're giving away 2 different bowling balls and a Bowlify jersey. If you guys didn't notice, we got a cool little backdrop here. This backdrop's going to be traveling with us to the tour events for the rest of the year.
But not this one.
Yeah, this one.
There's another one coming.
Yeah, there's another one it's got Bowler X added to it. Actually, the Bowler X one that he's bringing me, I want more for this because still Bowler X.
Yeah,
you know, but this one we're taking with us for interviewing Bowlify staffers and all that stuff. And for those guys to give away jerseys and everything. And we're going to, bring you interviews and everything on here as well with a lot of the different tour staffers and stuff. So he sent me this backdrop, which I thought was pretty cool. And then for that membership, we're giving you a Bowlify jersey up to $100 voucher to where you can get whatever jersey you want. That's going to be done on Sunday. Click that. And if you go on to some of our previous videos, you'll see the link. It's to be able to sign up for that. You just have to click on the link and enter your email or whatever it is. Make sure you use the YouTube email that you use to sign up for the membership, but you got to be a member of that channel. And then we're giving away a ball of choice. See, new member right there. See, and I'm going to shout you out, Christian. There you go. See, Christian figured it out. Once you become a member, you're now entered into that, but then you have to go click that link and enter on your own. So that way we can draw your name. And we're going to give away a Storm ball of choice since Cody is a Storm staff guy. And then we're going to give a ball of choice to anybody, to a member who wants from any brand. So we've got that coming up this Sunday. Entries are going to close at midnight on Sunday. So then we will we'll do that drawing after the PTQ, probably after qualifying on Tuesday. So just remember that. Oh, speaking of, go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about what do we got? What else we got there?
So we kind of talked about. I'm going to be drilling some balls this week. Basically just kind of getting prepared for the second leg of tour. So we had a week off here, which is why I'm up here this week. So we're going to drill some balls. I have a bunch of stuff coming kind of based off of what I saw the first month of tour and trying to add some shapes to my bag that could help out with that. And I also get to drill a couple new ones. You just drilled some brand new ones.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to use them in league tonight. I got that DNA and the IQ, the Ruby. So I threw them a little bit yesterday, and they both look really good. So we'll see how they do in league.
I did not drill those yet. We'll see. I very much like a couple of the other slower balls that we have so far. So I wanted to drill those to kind of get those in my bag before I drill the DNA to kind of see where I need that one to fit.
Right.
Just wanted to see a little bit more of it. And then IQ Ruby, not necessarily the thing I was thinking I need for tour.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You never know.
Wait, not with what we've bowled on so far.
Well, and we're only bowling like 6 games most times, right? So you're never actually getting to true breakdown.
And even in the PTQs, I mean, we're bowling on the oil. This control oil they've been using just feels it's a very, very high viscosity oil.
See, I feel so left out because I haven't bowled any stops yet. I bowled the U.S. Open, and that was it. So
I mean, my joke was last week, the last 2 weeks between Shawnee and Wichita that we were bowling canola oil. Because I mean, they just get tighter and they hook less, and you have to make your ball get started. And the bigger bowling balls look good even throughout the whole block. Like we're not getting into stuff like IQ Rubies yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe some of the other patterns we'll bowl on that might happen, and some of the other higher friction centers. Definitely, kind of see what happens with the Masters and that kind of stuff. But TOC might be the same way. But it'll be interesting to say the least, because I'm drilling a lot of stronger stuff. I'm not drilling a lot of the weaker stuff. I mean, the lowest bowling ball I think I've thrown all of tour so far is a Fate. So I mean, Fate and phase 2s. I want to make it through a few of these PTQs coming up. How many stops are there left? There's 5 maybe. No, more
plus
than that.
The Masters.
We got more than that.
Is there more than that? I don't.
So we have Jackson, TOC, Kokomo, Masters, World Series, Players Championship doubles. We have 7 stops.
I don't count the doubles.
What do you mean you don't count the doubles? Oh, I can't wait to bowl the doubles.
No, I don't count the doubles.
My partner's way better than I am, so I can't wait to bowl.
The few times, no, he's not. The few times,
yes, he is.
No, he's not. The few times I've bowled doubles, it's not gone well. It's not gone well at all.
I'm excited. We're also going to bowl Dougie Vision doubles right before the doubles, and that'll be fun too.
Oh yeah, I forgot he does that out there.
My partner strikes a lot on the East Coast, so
he does strike out there.
He strikes a lot.
He's crazy.
He just throws it good.
He gambles a lot too.
Well, we all do that.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
No, I don't gamble much.
Yeah, okay.
I don't.
Unless you're around me
Only when I'm in Vegas
and around me.
or around you
I'm a bad
because you're a
influence.
degenerate.
So he's not. But yeah, so this is actually you might not know his name. Ghibli is actually Tyler Herman. I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah.
Team USA back in the day. I grew up with Tyler. Yes, yeah. A lot of the righties, a lot of the tournaments we're bowling right now are using big ASIMs. Obviously, the very first stop in Springfield, we bowled on 37 feet for the PTQ, and then they bowled on 34 feet for the tournament. So urethane was 99% of the field that week. But the next 2 weeks, EJ1 throwing a Venom Shock in Shawnee.
I mean, has he ever used a ball other than a Venom Shock on TV or anything?
I
mean, I know he uses different
yeah.
balls through qualifying, but on TV, it seems to be a Venom Shock all the time.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah. They're all right. They're not
He's
bad.
used them for a long time.
That
Triple Crown.
That new Primal Shock. I like that. Got a
Well,
cover.
now they just announced the black one.
The Venom, the new Venom, yeah.
So I'm sure he'll throw that one a decent amount too.
That one's sitting at the shop. I just haven't drilled it yet.
Sounds like you have a lot of new toys.
I got some toys.
What do? You have I have a lot of options, and you have 20 times that.
I have infinite options. I think that's my issue. It's like a too many.
Yeah, how do you pick?
Well, lately,
and then you bring 9 balls to a tournament. I'd bring 47 if I was you, because I'd be like, well, what are these going to look like?
No, because I'm trying to narrow it down now. Because now I've got my core set of bowling balls. Sure. I've got the 6 to 8 that I know are going to go with me everywhere, and the only way I'm adding other bowling balls is if they literally make me drop my jaw. They say, "Holy cow!"
They have to really kind of.
Yeah, because otherwise,
special.
There's no point in having. Okay, I know this one's going to be a half a board more than this one, or this one. It just doesn't. Yeah, I don't need that. You need to be able to make those changes on the fly anyway. So,
with your hand, and your ball speed, and those kind of things. Yeah, for sure. I agree completely.
So I've got certain bowling balls that I really, really enjoy, and they look good on pretty much anything, and I take those ones with me anywhere, and then I we'll mix in certain bowling balls based on what pattern we're bowling. So. Sure. I think I'll probably take 12 down to Jackson and call it good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, I've only been throwing, I signed with Storm, December. So I've gotten used to a lot of these shapes and some of these new shapes. Mm-hmm. I've kind of seen my ball do some different things after, I was on motive staff for 4 years. Mm-hmm. So and then kind of didn't bowl and then came back and now with them. So, I really like what I'm seeing, but I'm definitely starting to build some biases towards what balls I like and what balls I don't like. And, they're balls that fit me that might fit somebody else, but it's really just kind of creating the shapes that I want to see that fit what I'm looking for. And that's why a lot of the balls I ordered this week or that I'm drilling are seconds of balls I already have that I just want to see another shape that's close, because there's a lot of times out on tour where that's all you need.
Right.
So it'll be that. I am drilling some of the new ones. I am drilling a second Eternity and another TNT or a TNT. So you guys I'll definitely post some shots and some videos with those this week.
The Eternity is good. I like the Eternity.
Very good.
So fan. If that Eternity you ordered doesn't show up in time, the one that I ordered from the distributor is going in my bag.
I mean, hopefully it'll be here.
So I'm gonna drill that and that Altered Reality. That way, because they're similar. They're real similar.
It's fine. I have a UFO alert, so I'm happy.
See, I didn't like that one as much.
That was so good.
I didn't like that one as much.
I like the Dark Code too, but they discontinued that one. I thought that one was pretty good.
I got an extra one at the shop that I'm keeping for myself. I just drilled a new one before. I drilled a new one before the U.S. Open and pretty much never used it.
When he looks for that one next week, it just won't be there.
I'm gonna have to make sure I get there early and hide it. No, because they went on closeout and there was only 3 left, so I bought the last 3. I sold one of them yesterday. I drilled one, sold one, and kept one. So.
There you go. Yeah. So just basically us kind of getting ready. We'll get some practice in. Just practice on whatever we can and get ready for this week. We're bowling on 40 feet Don Johnson for the PTQ.
I'll see if the owner can put out something for us tomorrow when we get there.
We might if we practice, probably try and go live or do some video
we'll
or something.
Definitely be live practicing.
Yep. So
now that we got everything all set up, and this won't be with us, but
we'll have the mics and we can kind of talk about everything. So there'll be a lot more of that going forward the next half of the tour. JR is going to be bowling pretty much everything the next step. So you guys will get a lot more content. We're looking to post. We'll probably do at least something like this once a week, at least. And then videos, 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
Is what we're looking to do. It might be some clips, some reels, some different things like that. We're going to get a Facebook page set up. I'm going to get a TikTok set up that we can post some clips and reels on. I have a phenomenal clip, the best clip in the world from the Bradley. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's really good. So it'll be out there. I've surely never seen a bowling ball do what this did.
Yeah.
It was intriguing.
I'm gonna have to find it because it's on the camera. I just got to find the clip.
Yeah. But we will find it because it's worth it. So
I'm hoping your body's out of the way so we can at least see.
If not, you're still gonna see my reaction.
Yeah.
Like
that was incredible. I can't believe that happened.
How? I still don't understand physically how we're boiling on 50 mils of oil.
Doesn't matter though. That thing.
But come on.
You had it. I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't even know.
You guys, you'll see.
You'll see.
You'll see when it's coming.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
No, he was not shooting the 5.8. That's for sure. It was a full rack.
I don't think I left the 5.8. I actually didn't leave a 5.8. I watched other people leave 5.8 10s.
I watched people miss the head pin left somehow. And not in the way of like the ball overhooking, but like
they just missed the head pin left.
Dead whiffed it left. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, very hard.
I was surprised I didn't see anyone get 2.
You can't get the ball to hook down lane.
That's fair. Your ball's trying to hook so early that it just can't hook down lane to get 2.
It has no motion to be able to get
you always get 3. You always got 3. Yeah. Just some of the stuff you see I 8-10. I shot 277. Yeah, I went 7 spare, 9 in a row, 8-10. Pocket, 8-10. They didn't even wiggle. They just laughed at me.
Yeah.
277. Stay hot. 8-10.
I watched Brandon Novak 8-10 back to back on the same night.
Oh yeah. You guys were beside me. Yeah, that was during that was the advancers round.
Plaque 8-10, strike, plaque 8-10, back to back on that lane. I wanted to bet him.
He was the perfect example. He led his squad at 140 over.
But remember, he bowled on the B squad.
I know.
Breakdown.
So. But then he came into the advancers round with this thought process of I'll just use more surface and do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that look just never developed. And then he struggled.
The problem with using more surface is it makes it hook immediately. And I think that takes away any room for error. If your ball hooks too early, you're in trouble. Unless you're playing right.
Which is where we were.
Yeah, and even then it can get you in trouble. It got me in trouble.
Sure. So, I hit some pairs where my ball dead hooked to my feet, and I just had to use ball speed.
Yeah, if it forces you left, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, you can't move left.
There's no moving left.
Yeah.
Probably could have lofted it, but if I loft it and hit 1-2.
If you loft it and miss it, you're in trouble.
It's going to hit the edge of the lane and bounce 4 lanes over.
Yeah, it's not going to be
That
good.
wouldn't work.
Yeah, this guy's giving me crap because I looked down and was like, yeah, I'm playing the gutter. And he goes,
you don't know what the gutter is.
He looks at me and he's like, you're playing 5. And I'm like, buddy, I'm not playing 5.
You were setting it down on probably 3-4, so that was pretty dang good. I ain't going to lie.
There was some 1-2. You got to give me some.
I don't know that you ever set it down on 1-2. There's a few that I wasn't even 1-2. I was like,
it's really hard.
It's
hard to get your body to lay it down there.
Right.
But you just try and get your body.
You never get to do it. There's never anywhere we're allowed to do it.
Even when we bowl on short patterns, like 34 feet, 35 feet, we don't do that. We throw urethane, but the majority of the time you're playing 6-7, 5-6-7, throwing it to 2-3-4, 3-4-5. You're never throwing it dead up 1-2.
Nope.
I've watched Kevin McCune do that, but he's throwing it 100.
Right.
You can't do that.
That's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. So anyway, any last thoughts? What somebody had asked.
Dusty, I'm not gonna spoil it, man. It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as that, but it's pretty funny.
It's a good laughing moment, that's for sure.
Let's okay. So somebody was asking core bowling balls. What are your core bowling balls? Like if you had to pick, let's say a 2-3 ball rollers, what are the 6 balls you're putting in it?
Probably Gem Reality Phase 2 for sure. So Gem Reality Phase 2. It's a really good question. Pitch Black. Definitely a Pitch Black. Have to have Pitch Black. So Gem Reality Phase 2, Pitch Black. I have a Pink Idol that's probably going with me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really good. And then probably just like one quicker ball like a little quicker at the end if I was going to use if we're
Absolutely.
trying to build that.
Oh, that's slow for you, which is really weird.
Yeah, mine's not.
Mine is quick.
Yeah. I would say I probably wouldn't put something like a Zen in there. I think a Zen's really good if you're trying to just build a 6-ball arsenal like that. You need something like that. I just think for what I'm bowling on, I would probably lean towards something like an exotic as being in that other ASIM pearl.
Yeah.
So I would have 2 bigger ASIMs. A gem and a reality are very different for me. Then I have an exotic gem that would give me a shinier version of that. And then I'd have idle phase 2 and a pitch black.
Yeah.
Would be my 6 probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go, which I'm a little upset right now. I don't have a purple hammer for this week because all of mine are illegal. And the new ones,
there's a chance.
And the new ones, unless you're one of the special guys on tour, you don't have one of the new ones yet. The pink label one or the pink pin ones. Yeah. They don't get to the distributor until Monday, supposedly. So we'll see. So maybe if I make it through the PTQ, then I can draw one if I need one. But I don't have one. But normally it would be, so purple hammer would be one, exotic gem immediately, the gem with it. So both gems. My Jackal Ambush is my other big ASIM ball that I like to smooth. I'm trying to think of for the Masters, I'm thinking I'm going to take, I think this DNA is probably going to make the cut. That DNA is a lot like the gem and the ambush for me. Very, very early and smooth. For my quicker bowling balls, you've got the Absolute and
that Widow.
The Widow 2.0 hybrid is one of them too.
You like that?
And then also, what was the other one? The Eternity.
Yeah, that's one that I haven't gotten to throw as much just because the one I drilled, we tweaked the span a little bit and I like it. I really like the shape. So I have another one I'm going to drill again. So I can't wait to throw that one because I have a feeling that, for me, that would probably even be a better option than an exotic at times. So.
Is there going to be a membership? Yeah. So eventually we're going to transfer. So the membership I'm using now for the giveaways is on my channel. So eventually, yes, we're going to start the membership here on this channel. So that way for the giveaways and everything that we do here, you guys have a way of entering that stuff pretty easy. So yeah, there will be a membership here. Once we get to a point where they allow it, you got to have so many subscribers and so many watch hours and stuff like that before they'll even let us start something like that. So once we get there, which shouldn't take long, we'll start a new membership for this channel so we can, and then maybe we'll do some exclusive footage or something like that too for members and try to figure out some ways to give some stuff away. So yeah,
Adam, to answer your question, I would say I haven't thrown a DNA yet. I would say it's close. What I will say is you can definitely check out JR's video in probably the next week or so.
Yeah, that'll probably come out next week.
So he'll definitely talk about that because that's going to be a ball that's been mentioned a lot when talking about that one.
Yeah.
So,
yep. So anything else to add before we get out of here?
Not really.
Just make sure you guys click that link down there, or copy that link, join the membership, and then join for the giveaway. Remember, it's a Bowlify jersey up to $100, ball of choice from Storm, which is Storm Rotogrip 900 Global, or ball of choice from any brand. So 2 different bowling balls and a jersey we're going to give away. So stay tuned for that. But I think we're going to get out of here. We got to get ready and go practice a little bit before league and stuff. So it's already 15 minutes past the time I wanted to be on the road. So we're going to roll. We're going to get out of here.
All right. Expect a lot more content coming, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. So we'll you'll see something. Maybe we'll record some stuff from league tonight or something. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll see you guys later. Take care.
See it.
We're going to go back and forth at each other, I'm sure.